this video is not about people that have always something to say and always they have to complain about the staff, their own colleague, the management, the company, the cleaner, the domestic. No, it's not for you, because if job number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 was not okay, no darling, you are the problem. And since you are the problem, please do work on it, or even ask for help. Sometimes it's better to quit immediately before the situation gets worse. So in today's video, I would like to share some of the signs that I identified that if you experience that, I feel like you should consider maybe to get yourself another job. But before starting that, welcome back to my channel, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank everybody that wished me happy birthday. It was a lovely birthday. I was in England and I spent time with my family, and they had a surprise birthday for me, and I was so grateful, and it was such a lovely time. If you've been here before, thank you again. And if you've never been here before, my name is Michelle, and I talk about beauty, lifestyle, nursing, and all the good stuff. So I would like you to share, subscribe, like, and watch all the video. So I will discuss 5 signs that if you are experiencing, I think like you should leave your job, because sometimes it's not worth it. You don't want to get into trouble, and especially in like the field that we are working, like healthcare, some situation is better not to experience at all. So the first sign that you should consider relocating is when you're panicking. Like you're panicking, you don't want to go to work because like you are scared, you're frightened, and every time that you think about this job that you are going to go there tomorrow, you don't sleep through the night, and you're panicking, and you don't feel okay, you feel like anxious, and that is not a good sign. First of all, I'm not talking about like small, like sometimes you don't want to go to work, maybe you feel a bit lazy, work is a bit hard, you're having a hard time. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you have like anxiety, you have fear, and sometimes even maybe if you are like driving and you're crossing the place where you're working, you start to panic, you don't even want to go close. That is like an alarm that probably you are not in the best place for you, and I think that you should consider to relocate and to find yourself a job, because I mean, life is too short to start there to panicking, like to feel stressed and start to having like anxiety. No, leave, run before it becomes late, especially in a job like healthcare where you need to be passionate, you need to be patient, you need to give all your qualities for the best care you can provide. If you have like those feelings, there's no point. You won't do your best to practice. So if you're experiencing any panic attack, and I'm not talking once, I'm talking about twice, like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, if that is the case, that means that it's not the right place for you. Please, you need to leave. So the third aspect the second aspect I would like to discuss is when you find yourself in a toxic environment with toxic colleagues. I know it's the worst. It's the worst at all, because when you're finding yourself that you have colleagues that they don't like you, they're always complaining about you, everything that you do is wrong, they always find the small anything like that doesn't make sense, but they always want to annoy you. My dear, this is an alert, because let's be honest, this job is too stressful to start to like experience that too. And for that, I have like the example of one of my colleagues. When I was working in a care home, nobody was liking her in the unit she was working. Every time that she will try to do something, they will always try to find fault, they will always try to find something bad, and we are human beings, so every time our practice is not perfect. We are just doing our own best, but our practice is not perfect. So what happened to this my colleague, that she always do night shift, and in one night she fell asleep, and I know she should have never done it. She should have never done it. But what happened is that one of her colleagues took a picture and sent that to the management. Guess what happened? Big investigation, big everything. The RCN, which was her union, got involved and stuff like that. And I think that this, my friend, she should have seen it coming, because they will always complain about her. Every small aspect, every small thing that she will do, they're in the office to the management team, and all the time, and she was always complaining until it became worse, and there been an investigation and everything. I know that she should have not those at work, that's for sure, and I'm not here to say that what she done is okay, but it's a way to say that if they want to find, if your colleagues want to find something wrong with you, trust me, they will find it. There's nothing to do about it, because as I said, we are human beings. So if you don't have the support through your colleagues, and they're always accusing you, they're always trying to find things, they will. And thank God, after when all that situation came to an end, she resigned. And trust me, if she did not resign, they would have found another thing that maybe is even worse, to sleep at work during an night shift, and probably the situation would have been even worse. And I know a lot of people that maybe not on a like sleeping at work, but even on any other situation, when you find yourself in that situation that nobody like you at work, and they're always trying to find something wrong with you, please do leave. So that is the third aspect. The second aspect. So the third aspect I would like to discuss is when basically the company you're working for, they are not doing things right. They don't follow the health and safety. They don't do things right. And you can be a good person coming from maybe another place, and your practice is good, and the way you are dealing with patients is good. But sometimes when you find yourself in a bad company or in a bad environment, unfortunately it can like influence the way you do things. And if you find your situation in a company where they don't follow the rules and they don't follow the regulation, my dear, it's time to run. You need to run. Because I remember one day I follow like a news in BBC actually, and they were showing up about like I think like learning disability unit in a care home somewhere, that basically there was a big investigation. What happened is that the people that work were the company there, they were not following the rules, so everything was a mess. And the way residents, they were not looked after properly, and everybody was complaining about it, but the company never done anything to make the situation change. So when people now went to complain to the care inspector, there was a big investigation, and at some point basically the care commission sent like an investigator that came there like as a healthcare support worker, just like to work as a care assistant basically as work. And guess what, he was having a camera in order to film everything that was going on. So imagine yourself in a situation like that you're coming, I don't know, from nowhere, you're coming to work here, but you realize that they are not practicing the way they're supposed to. My dear, if there is a big investigation like that, even if like you do things the way you're supposed to do, but you're finding yourself in a bad situation, I think that it's time to leave. Because no matter what, if something happened, you are involved as well. And I know that in even on my Learn Pro, this one module about safeguarding is about abuse. If you find yourself that you are in a company where they don't follow the rules, you need to report and you need to leave. And in fact, that guy that I feel like that investigator that took his camera to like film everything, after that it went viral, it went online and everything. And sometimes as a good person, you can find yourself on a filming situation and it's not worth it. So if you find your situation that you're working in a company that doesn't follow the rules, please go. So another aspect that I would like to discuss is when you find yourself in a department or you're working where you don't learn anything anymore. You're always on a static situation. Nothing is happening, and because as a human being you want to learn, you want to like be in a situation where you're stimulated, or I mean, if you find yourself in a situation where there's no any opportunity to grow, there's no any opportunity where you feel stimulated, but you're always finding yourself in the same situation. Today is the same situation, tomorrow is the same situation, stuff like that. I feel like maybe it's time to get yourself another job where you can be stimulated and you have the opportunity to grow. Like for example, in my own case, I love the place where I'm actually, because I got a new job, I love the place, but I just felt like I wanted more experience. I wanted like to gain more skill, and I realized that maybe in another department, definitely I will grow and I will learn more than where I am now. That's why I decided sometimes it's nothing bad on it, because some people just want to grow and they want to experience different stuff. They don't want always to be on their comfort zone. And I feel like if you're that type of person, if you feel like the place is not giving you what you want, I feel like it's time to leave and find yourself maybe a job that maybe you can like grow and like do new stuff and stuff like that. So I feel like that is the case if you are that type of person. So, and the last like sign I would like to discuss with you, you should consider to quit if you have a bad boss. Yes, I know having a bad boss is not the best at all, because I feel like if you have bad colleagues, but in the other way, you have a good boss that like take his own time to investigate, in case, for example, if they report you, they always talk bad about you, even I don't know, the cleaner is talking about you and the porter is talking about you, your other colleagues is talking bad about you. If you have that type of boss that he will always investigate, he will always take his own time to understand if what they are saying is right or wrong, or it's just like they just like gossip and stuff like that. We take all his time to understand what's going on without judging immediately, or without like concluding like the situation, or without like listening to what people are saying and just take a decision based on what people are saying. If that is your case, I think like you should consider to stay in the place. But if you have like a bad boss that he always listen to what people are saying, and every time he will call you in the office, you don't this and that, without even investigating or without even taking his own time to understand if what they say or what they're accusing is right or wrong, I think that it's time to leave, because there's no point. Trust me, you will win that battle. And if a boss doesn't like you, or a boss that think bad thing about you, and no, I won't feel comfortable to stay in this situation, and I will just leave. Because a lot of the things you will get if you have a boss that like you, and if you have a boss that, especially if you have a boss that is fair. If you have a boss that is fair, I think like it's the best. But if you have a boss that is not fair, for example, in my own work, in general, not only in my own work, for example, we have like the band 7 that usually is the ward manager. So for example, if like you are a band 5 and you want to go to a band 6, do you know that if the boss like you and she like the way you work and everything, and feel like you are a valuable person, do you know that if you go for a job, there will be a high like chances that you might get the job, because it's actually the band 7 that has like the last say about someone becoming a band 6, because they actually work together. So if you have a bad boss that doesn't like you, if there's something that they accuse you, it will never be on your side. It will never give you the support because they don't like you. And that's the way I feel, and that's the way I seen it, because having the support of your boss, I think that is the best. And if you don't have it, my dear, there's no point to stay. And I feel like they always say that the grass is not always greener in the other side, but if you don't go to the other side, how will you know? How will you know? How will you know? So that's my own opinion, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye 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 bye.